Hey, what's up guys? This is Nick at BarBend.com. Today I'm going to be reviewing Organifi's Green Juice. This is a green superfood powder type product. Organifi has a couple of other products out there as well. They've got a red juice, which is kind of more focused on boosting the metabolism. We've got a yellow juice that's more about reducing inflammation. This is the green juice. It's got a big emphasis on coconut and ashwagandha. In fact, the product states that it has 11, quote, unbelievable ingredients that are going to confer a wide variety of effects. But before I get into all of that, let's see what it tastes like. Okay, so this is relatively pleasant for a green superfood powder. Most of its competitors, often, not most of them, but it's pretty common for a greens powder to taste pretty earthy, like a little bit like soil. This tastes like green tea, like matcha green tea and mint flavor. And this contains organic mint flavor and matcha green tea. There's a bunch of other stuff in here, but those are definitely the main flavors that I'm getting. So yeah, it's pretty pleasant. I would recommend using it with pretty cold water. This is room temperature and it's kind of just so-so. Okay, so let's take a look at the nutrition label and the ingredients. Before I go in, I do want to mention that BarBend does sometimes receive free products, and we do participate in some affiliate programs. With that out of the way, the nutrition label doesn't have a ton of information on it. So this is like, you would consider this a nutritional supplement, but the only vitamins and minerals on here are iron, calcium, and sodium. There is 11% of your daily iron, which is pretty good, but very little calcium and sodium, 3% and 1% of your daily intake. Calorie-wise, it's just 25 calories. There's 2 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbohydrates with 4 grams of fiber, and 1 gram of sugar, which is actually 5 grams of carbohydrates, but nonetheless, yeah, there's a lot of fiber here relative to the carbohydrate content, whatever it may be. But this is a green superfood powder. So these sorts of products, they tend to emphasize less the actual vitamins and minerals than the actual ingredients they contain. So I'm gonna run through the ingredients really quickly. Most of them here in the Green's proprietary blend, you've got wheatgrass and moringa. There's also spirulina and chlorella, which are nutritious algae, and some matcha green tea as well. Then in the superfood proprietary blend, you've got some coconut water powder, some ashwagandha extract, and some organic red beetroot, and some turmeric. So those are all the ingredients. So what do? Well, with these sorts of products, the emphasis is really on antioxidants. So what antioxidants do is basically they can help to reduce cellular damage associated with just like living. You call it aging if you like. Oxygen can confer some damage upon our cells, sort of like how oxygen causes metal to rust. Even though we need oxygen to breathe in, long term it can cause some damage to our bodies. Antioxidants can sort of mitigate that a little bit. This is particularly emphasizes the antioxidants found in the matcha green tea, which has an antioxidant called EGCG, which has been associated with a lot of beneficial effects, including like hormone control and stuff like that, which is listed as one of the benefits on the side of the tub. Beside that, this talks about blood sugar. It can help to potentially manage your blood sugar, and it does indeed contain spirulina and lemon, which are associated with those things. Then again, spirulina and lemon, I think they're largely meant to help with your blood sugar because they contain a lot of fiber and vitamin C in their whole form. In this product, there's not really much mention of the vitamin C content, although there is an okay amount of fiber. Otherwise, it talks about inflammation a bit. So there is some turmeric in this as well, which could potentially help to manage inflammation. There are some studies out there, but they do tend to emphasize like dosages between 500 milligrams and 2 grams to help manage certain inflammatory conditions. This doesn't really mention how much turmeric it contains. It's just listed in a blend of 1.45 grams. So again, this is all proprietary. I don't know the exact dosages of any of the ingredients, but they have been linked to those benefits. And otherwise, yeah, it says stuff like this contains coconut water powder because coconut water is a great source of potassium. There's no potassium listed on the nutrition label. It says there's a chlorella and wheatgrass in this, partly because they're really good sources of protein. There's just 2 grams of protein in a serving of this. Yeah, like I said, all these ingredients are pretty well known, largely for their antioxidant content and potential effects on immunity and cellular damage. I just really would have liked to have known how much of each ingredient contains, so I could have done just a little bit more research myself. So what about the price? Well, this little tub here, I do really need to emphasize that the price can fluctuate based on like the season and the sale and the strategy and all those other kinds of things. So any day now the price can be different. Right now for this one tub here of 30 servings, you're looking at between $60 and $80. It's the same here for these little sachets. These are single serve pouches. You can get 30 here for the same price. Now, if you subscribe to regular shipments, like a tub per month, that just helps you save a little bit of money, especially if you really want to get like the whole family on it and you get 3 tubs per month. That drops the price like pretty significantly, but generally speaking, you're looking at roughly $2.30 per serving of this. If you're getting the free tubs every month, it drops down to about $1.50. So I don't know, let's say it's between $2, $2.50 per serving. That is a little bit pricey for a green superfood powder, which in my experience tend to be between $1 and $1.50 per serving. So it's not crazy expensive for the industry. Plus, you know, everything's organic. There's a pretty wide variety of ingredients, and you get 15% of the daily intake of fiber in just one scoop. So you may find that price worth it. All right, so what did I like about Organifi's green juice? It's pretty tasty for a green superfood powder. It's not the tastiest I've ever had, but it's definitely tastier than most, so I always appreciate that with one of these products. It's also a pretty good source of fiber. I mean, you get about 15% of your recommended daily intake in one little scoop. Plus it contains prebiotic fiber, which I didn't mention before. Prebiotic fiber acts as food for the probiotic bacteria living in your digestive tract that can potentially confer some digestive health benefits. So that's always nice to see in these sorts of products. Pretty decent source of iron, 11% of your recommended daily intake. And then of course, there's the rest of the ingredients. Now, these ingredients are known for being pretty high in antioxidants. They're very common in most green superfood powders. Specifically, I'm talking about the wheatgrass and the chlorella and the spirulina and the green tea. Again, very common in these sorts of powders. I am pretty confident this contains a decent dose of antioxidants. I don't know exactly how much, which I'll mention in the next section. But yeah, again, they're known for their antioxidant capacity, and I'm confident this could, you know, potentially improve your health in that regard. So there were a few things I wasn't quite so crazy about with Organifi's green juice. If you want to read my full list, by the way, where I discuss these studies in depth, you can just Google BarBend and Organifi green juice to get a little bit more of my thoughts there. But long story short, it's a little bit pricey, but my main concern is that I just don't feel like it's very transparent. As I mentioned earlier, there aren't many vitamins and minerals listed here. It's just calcium, iron, and sodium. If you check out their website, they'll say things like they include the beetroot powder, which does contain, because beets are high in folate and magnesium. But they don't say how much folate or magnesium this product contains. So is this a good source of folate and magnesium? Like, I don't really know. On that note, you get the alkaline greens blend and the superfood blend. I know how much each of those blends weigh, but all the ingredients inside there, I don't know what the doses are. So I just would have really liked a bit more information supporting the claims that they make so I can be more confident with the product. So to be clear, I do believe this product contains antioxidants. It contains ingredients that are known for their antioxidant content. On another note, this makes a big emphasis on the ashwagandha here. That's an adaptogen that can help the body manage the effects of stress. So people sometimes take ashwagandha or other adaptogens to help manage the effects of, like, say, a really tough workout or a stressful day at the office. A relatively typical dosage of ashwagandha is 300 milligrams-ish, and in this, it is the second ingredient in a 1.45 gram blend. So it probably exceeds that dose, but like, did it have to be proprietary? I would have liked to actually know. I would have liked them to measure the antioxidant content as well, so I would know how many antioxidants are in this relative to, say, a cup of blueberries, which is something you can do with something called the ORAC score. It could have been a lot more transparent. And on that note, there are some other effects here that there are claims made that I don't know really measure up to the dosages in here. So like, there's some turmeric that they say might be able to help with inflammation. When turmeric is used for that purpose, you normally get like 2 to 4 grams of it. In this, it's the last ingredient on a 1.45 gram blend. That said, I do think pretty good source of antioxidants and ashwagandha anyway. All right, those are my thoughts on Organifi's green juice. I think it's effective in some regards, and others I'm not quite as convinced. If you want to read more of my thoughts, or I discuss the actual studies a little bit and get a little more nitty gritty, just Google the full review, BarBend plus Organifi green juice.